Good morning. Welcome to Homecoming 2014. My name is Kelly Enzer. I'm class of 1999. I have the honor of serving as president of the Rhodes Alumni Association, and this meeting is now called to order. Let's begin today's program by saluting our reunion classes. Student Body President Shelley Chaudhary will lead the procession of class banners. Ladies and gentlemen, please rise and clap your hands to the Rhodes Fight song played by Debbie Smith of the music department. Celebrating their zero reunion, class of 2014. Fifth year reunion, class of 2009. Tenth year reunion, class of 2004. 15th year reunion, class of 1999. 20th year reunion, class of 1994. Celebrating their 25th reunion, class of 1989. 30th reunion, class of 1984. 35th reunion, class of 1979. 40th reunion, class of 1974. 45th reunion, class of 1969. And now our Golden Links, celebrating their 55th reunion, the class of 1959. 60th reunion, class of 1954. Finally, celebrating their 50th reunion and becoming the newest members of the Golden Links, please welcome the members of the class of 1964. Members of the class of 1964, please remain standing for a moment. Everyone else can be seated. Members of the class of 64, this day must have looked very far off in the fall of 1960. Congratulations on reaching this milestone. I hope everyone will join me in another round of applause to celebrate the 50th reunion class members. You may be seated. The Alumni Association sends its best regards to all the classes celebrating a class reunion this year. Have a great time renewing your college friendships this weekend. I also want to thank Debbie Smith of the music department for getting us into the school spirit with the Rhodes Fight song. You are following a tradition set by our late and much beloved accompanist, Professor David Ramsey, class of 1961. Thank you, Debbie. I now call on the Reverend Dr. Paul Fromberg, class of 1984, to lead our invocation. Paul is the rector of St. Gregory of Nyssa Episcopal Church in San Francisco. He's a graduate of Fuller Theological Seminary, the Seminary of the Southwest, and the Church Divinity School of the Pacific. In addition to his parish work, Paul has taught at Virginia Theological Seminary and the Church Divinity School of the Pacific, where he received his Doctor of Ministry in June of this year. Paul is married to Grant Martin and is the uncle of Abigail Norris, Rhodes class of 2017. Paul?
Turn to the back of your leaflets, please. And look at the names on the bottom half of the leaflet of the members of this community who've died in the past year. In silence, I ask you to remember those who have died and also those who mourn them. Spend time today remembering these and all those who now live in the nearer presence of God. And if you're not afraid of the rain, I encourage you to stop by the Dodgeville Meditation Garden located on the south side of Fisher Garden for a time of remembrance. Now let us pray. O God of love, you are the true Son of the world, evermore risen and never going down. We pray you to shine in our hearts, that the darkness of our ignorance and the mist of error being driven away, we may this day and all our life long walk without stumbling in the way you have prepared for us, which is the way of your holy wisdom. We ask it for the sake of your living word. Amen.
Thank you, Paul. Next, we will hear from the president of Rhodes Student Government Association, Shelley Chiduri. Shelley is a senior neuroscience major from Mount Juliet, Tennessee, and also serves as a student trustee. In addition, she is a peer assistant leadership team member, secretary of Nu Rho Psi, and member of Alpha Omicron Pi, the Rhodes Singers, Mortar Board, and Omicron Delta Kappa. After graduation, she plans to attend medical school with hopes of becoming a pediatrician. Ladies and gentlemen, Shelley Chiduri.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome back to Rhodes. It's so exciting to think about all the people in this room today. From those of you who graduated recently to those of you who are here when the halls of Palmer weren't quite so full of faces, we're happy to see you all here. As you've probably noticed, there's a little bit of what we call progress going on around this campus. Rhodes is going through a lot of changes right now. We've always been an institution that prides itself on progress, yet always stays rooted in tradition. Much like the stone of our buildings, some things just never change. Though we may have shiny new labs and classrooms coming, though our college may have even changed its name 30 years ago, the same founding values of genuineness and integrity hold us true today as the day Rhodes was founded. From a current student perspective, I can honestly say that it's a great time to be at Rhodes. Rhodes has always been unique in that it promotes so much more than self-interest in its students. Our students are excited about bettering the community and ultimately making a mark on the world. As a student, I'm going to tell you the honest truth about the average student's biggest problem at Rhodes, and it boils down to one word: time. Current students are so incredibly busy studying, out at their internships, attending campus events, networking, going to lectures, and exploring this fantastic city, But most of their frustration stems from feeling like they just can't do it all. But if the biggest issue a college has is that its students do not feel like they have enough time to do what they love, then I think it's safe to say we're in a pretty good place. Now, if my fellow neuroscience students could just figure out how a brain can function without sleep, we would be in business. But more seriously, I'm here to tell you what Rhodes students are doing in a way that you might not see externally. A couple of years ago, Rhodes formed a group called Common Table. Common Table is a collaborative effort between students, faculty, and staff to discuss pervasive topics on campus, and does a great job of both thoroughly analyzing topics as well as uniting different parts of the campus together. Right now, Rhodes is in the middle of its first annual Links Week, a collaborative effort between student government, Rhodes Activities Board, Career Services, and the PAC, our school spirit organization. We have made an event or activity for every day this week, culminating in homecoming today, and we are excited that it's been a success. It's a great start to finding ways we can incorporate more campus traditions and school pride. In the academic sphere, students in Rhodes Student Government are spearheading a project to start an academic peer mentorship program. They heard fellow students express a need for academic connections to upperclassmen and saw the potential in the staff and faculty to help them start it. Now RSG is in conversations with faculty about how to make this dream of upperclassmen departmental mentors a reality. You should all be so proud to be a graduate of a place that cares about issues like this. It is so powerful to be a student and a leader and observe progress on the ground. At Rhodes, students get excited and have great ideas, and then this institution supports them and can make it happen. I'll share one other example with you. Last year, Rhodes was working to commission a student-friendly campus-wide app. A student approached information technology and explained that he already had a plan in place for such a technology. He and another incoming Rhodes student collaborated with the college to make this application a reality, and its launch date is scheduled soon. What this means is that this app will address Rhodes student-specific issues because it is made by them. Aren't you proud to be an alumnus of a place that fosters collaboration like that? Sometimes when I read about what Rhodes alumni are doing around the world, I'm just astounded. Rhodes clearly has fostered some incredible talent. Hearing about your accomplishments and successes inspires Rhodes students so much and gives us so much pride. So as you enjoy the parade and game and general festivities today, and hopefully don't get drenched in the process, I would encourage you all to just start talking to some current students. Tell us what you do and where you are in life, and reminisce about the good old days, because we want to know. Back in 1925, President Deal spoke about desiring to see a harmonious unity here. I cannot think of a better time to foster that unity than today. I hope you find camaraderie with those you talk to, because I know that we all have one thing in common here. We all love Rhodes. I hope you can venture out on this wet day and rediscover some of that harmonious unity for yourselves. Thank you all for coming, and happy homecoming.
Thank you, Shelley. Next, it is my pleasure to introduce President Bill Trout. Along with his wife, Carol, President Trout has led this college since 1999. During this time, the national reputation of Rhodes has grown to a new level. We are truly fortunate to have a leader of his caliber at the helm, and I am honored to present our president, Bill Trout.
Well, good morning. Welcome back. Welcome home. We are so delighted you could join us for homecoming today. Congratulations to all of you back for reunions, especially members of the class of 1964. We're so pleased to see all of you here. I'm just wondering, for how many of you has it been 10 years or more since you were back on this beautiful campus? 10 years or more. 20 years or more. 30 years or more? Terrific, terrific. Can you imagine coming back to a more beautiful campus? This fall, Princeton Review ranks Rhodes as the third most beautiful college campus in America. But really, isn't it hard to envision a campus any more visually stunning than ours? We hope you feel as good about your college today as you ever have been and are delighted in the way the college has advanced. We've grown a little bit. Today, we have close to 200 full-time faculty. We have reached our overall enrollment goal of 2,000 students. And Rhodes has always been an excellent college, an institution so important to our region, with most students coming from the Mid-South. Today, we are a national liberal arts college in our market, in our enrollment, and in our academic influence. Almost 4 out of 5 Rhodes students entering this fall come from outside of Tennessee. A little change since some of you were here. And you can just look at student license plates. North Dakota, Idaho, New Hampshire, and Maine. For 2 years in a row, we've had more students from California than Mississippi. That's right. Think about that. At a time when across the country liberal arts college enrollments are down, I'm happy to report that student interest in Rhodes is at an all-time high. We are very proud of the profile of this entering class. Our average test scores have ticked up once again. Our proportion of students of color is at an all-time high. And the class is more national than ever. For example, this class's SAT average is 1,300, and the average high school grade point average is almost 3.8. We have a record number of African American students, and the percentage of students from outside the Southeast is now a very significant percentage of the class. This class comes from 41 different states and 15 different countries, a class full of academic potential. To support today's students and faculty, many of you have already been involved in our campaign for Rhodes. Our campaign is now in the home stretch, due to be completed on December 31. Good news, if you haven't had a chance to participate, you still do. Alumni support does provide the foundation for our success. Thanks to your financial support, your help in recruiting the very best students, the assistance you provide in helping students with internships, we now offer students remarkable opportunities in the classroom, out of the classroom, and beyond our campus gates. We would not be where we are today without your support. Thank you for all you do for today's students. As Shelley said, we hope that while you're here today, you'll have a chance to connect with some of today's students and tour some of the new buildings and renovated spaces they enjoy. You may have seen we've got some construction underway here in the center of the campus. Next fall, Rhodes Tower will reopen with new classrooms, new laboratories for physics, neuroscience, and environmental science. And we hope to continue to expand our facilities for our growing science program. Among national liberal arts colleges, we rank 10th in terms of the percentage of students graduating in the sciences. As you talk with today's students, you'll be impressed with all they're accomplishing in and out of the classroom. You'll be particularly impressed, I think, with their service to others here in Memphis. Consistently, about 85% of our seniors share at graduation that they've had a very significant community service experience while they've been here at Rhodes. When it comes to community service, your alma mater continues to be ranked #1. Yes, we are America's most service-minded college. In addition to reconnecting with your classmates today, we hope you'll be able to participate in some of our college-wide events. from the alumni picnic that follows Convocation, to a homecoming parade that will showcase some real student creativity, to cheering our Lynx on to victory over Sewanee. We hope it'll be a great day for you in every way. Again, welcome back, welcome home, go Lynx.
Thank you, President Trout. We're grateful for all you and Carol do for Rhodes. Since today's convocation doubles as the annual meeting of our Rhodes Alumni Association, I now open the business segment of our gathering. The first order of business is to recognize all the members of the Alumni Association Executive Board by asking them to stand. And as they do, I want to call particular attention to the members of the Executive Board who complete their terms today. Those rotating off the board are Trish Christ, class of 1990, Jake Kremer, class of 2006, Alana Helland, class of 2002, Rob Knight, class of 2008, Joanna Samaha Makrowitz, class of 1996, and Jeff Sutton, class of 2000. Thank you all so much for your service to the college. It's now my pleasure to introduce the nominees for the Alumni Association Executive Board who have been invited to serve by the nominating committee and affirmed by the board. Pending their approval by this body, they will serve 3-year terms beginning today and concluding with the Alumni Convocation in 2017. Please stand as I call your name. Susan Beard, class of 1965. Calvin Biggers, class of 2003. Chris Cardwell, class of 1994. Joey Dudek, class of 1993. Victoria McCullough, class of 2007. Wes Metter, class of 2000. Patricia Neal, class of 1978. Suzanne Perlis, class of 1990. Josh Solomon, class of 2000. Matthew Wilder, class of 2002. And Rachel Harpool Woods, class of 2010. Thank you. At this time, I will entertain a motion to accept the recommendation of the Alumni Association Executive Board and its nominating committee that these alumni be elected to the Alumni Association Board. May I hear a second? Those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, nay. The ayes have it. Congratulations and welcome aboard. In other business, Allison Griffin Battelle, class of 1998, a current member of the Alumni Association Executive Board, has been recommended by the Alumni Association Executive Board and its nominated committee to serve as board secretary for a 1-year term. At this time, I will entertain a motion to accept their recommendation.
As I moved.
We have a motion. May I hear a second? Those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, nay. The ayes have it. Congratulations. Thanks to all of you for your efforts on behalf of the Alumni Association. Now I get to make a special presentation, the University Hilton Award. This award goes to the reunion class with the highest percentage of members registered for homecoming. The permanent plaque is the sign from the old university dorm that hangs in the Lynx lair. This year, the winning class is the class of 1964. With nearly 50% of their class in attendance. Congratulations. I'm also very pleased to announce that the members of class of 1964 donated a total of $195,497 for their 50th reunion gift. Your generosity will ensure that Rhodes will continue to provide exceptional educational experience for future generations. Thank you all very much. On the back page of your program, note that we have listed the winners of all the 2013-2014 class awards. Please join me in saluting all these outstanding classes. With the business portion of our meeting concluded, it is now my pleasure to give special recognition to alumni who have inspired us by their dedication and service during the past year. Assisting me in these recognitions are Director of Alumni Relations, Tracy Patterson, class of 84. I'm sorry. I'm stuck on 64 from the winners. Jasanya Timms, class of 2016, and President Trout. First, Tracy Patterson will present the Young Alumni of the Year Award.
Good morning. The Young Alumni Award recognizes an alumnus or alumna who has not yet reached their 10th reunion and has brought honor to Rhodes College through extraordinary achievement in his or her profession and community. Today I am honored to present the 2014 Young Alumni Award to Katherine Jameson from the class of 2005. Katie, will you please join me? When Katie drove from Westbrook, Georgia to Memphis, Tennessee in August 2001, she was representing the first generation of her family to go to college. Her parents had always told her that if she worked hard in high school and made the grades, she could go to college anywhere. Fortunately, Rhodes College was Katie's first choice, and Memphis was just far enough away to satisfy her desire for independence. Our reputation for excellence in the sciences was another plus, and a few weeks into her freshman year, Katie was already charting a course that would satisfy her scientific interests. During her sophomore year, Katie joined Dr. Mary Miller's research lab and fell in love with research and bench science. Under Dr. Miller's guidance, Katie flourished, and her research culminated in an American Society for Microbiology undergraduate research fellowship, publication in a national journal, and the 2005 award for outstanding research in biology. She also found time to serve as Vice President of Tri Beta Biological Honor Society, editor of the Rhodes Journal of Biological Science, student chair of the Undergraduate Research and Creative Activities Symposium, and was also a very active member of Kappa Delta sorority. In 2004, Dr. Miller encouraged Katie to attend a conference in Seattle to present her work to 2,000 scientists from around the world. Katie presented a poster and received positive feedback from her work. In the hopes of introducing her to scientists from potential graduate programs, Dr. Miller went to find her, but discovered Katie already surrounded by the very scientists Dr. Miller wanted her to meet. As Dr. Miller recalls, I walked up to the group, and Katie introduced me to everyone. Then I stood there, and 10 really well-known scientists walked by and said, "Hi, Katie." Oh yeah, hi, Mary. I think she knew more people at the end of the meeting than I did. She really is great at connecting with people. It was this ability to connect that brought Katie together with Dr. Tim Stearns, who encouraged her to apply to graduate school at Stanford University. In 2005, she enrolled in the Cancer Biology PhD program and began researching and framing a new way to think about strategies for treating cancer patients. She collaborated with faculty members from MIT and Harvard and tested the scientific robustness of her findings. In the process, she developed an anti-cancer therapy that focuses on the scaffolding proteins that hold groups of proteins together rather than on the proteins that carry out functions. According to Dr. Miller, this is really a new way of thinking about how to change what a protein does. And if you can change what a cancer-causing protein does, then you have a treatment. Katie's work at Stanford was published in the premier journal for biomedical research, Nature Medicine, and she was granted funding from national agencies for preclinical drug development. In 2012, she was invited to Germany to participate in the Merck Serrano Innovation Cup. Katie now holds a patent on her novel cancer treatment therapeutic. But despite countless awards and recognitions, Katie considers her greatest accomplishment to have been invited to present her work at the Rhodes College Biology Department Seminar Series in 2012. Says Dr. Miller, What I think is interesting about Katie's work is how it reflects Katie herself. She is a networking queen. Think about that. She pays attention to how things are connected. She recognizes how important those connections are, how in the end, those connections are what matters, whether proteins or classmates or teachers or Stanford or Vandy or Rhodes. She gets this at a really basic level. It has allowed her to bring her own perspective to the field of cancer biology, and in the end, she might just save some lives. What more could you ask for in a former student? Katie is now completing a postdoctoral research fellowship in cancer biology at Vanderbilt University, where she is hard at work to find a cure for cancer. But in her spare time, she pays it forward by serving as a mentor to numerous graduate and undergraduate students for the Vanderbilt Summer Science Academy and other career committees. As her classmate Carolyn Westphal stated in her nomination of Katie, it is important to Katie that she makes a genuine contribution to the benefit of humankind, and I really believe that she will. But to me, her greatest contribution is the love and light she brings to her family and close friends. And now it is with great pleasure that I present the 2014 Young Alumni Award to Dr. Catherine Jameson.
Thank you. Don't want to break it in the first 30 seconds. Good morning. I'm extremely honored to be here today and accept this award in front of amazing family, dear friends, honored alumni, and the exceptional members of the Rhodes faculty. Way back when, in 2001, when I first moved into Williford 208, I never could have imagined that I'd be standing here today. But it's truly a testament to the amazing education and wonderful opportunities that I received during my time at Rhodes. As Tracy said, after graduating in 2005, I completed my PhD at Stanford, and I was lucky enough to be at the right place at the right time to develop and patent a novel cancer therapeutic that we believe will be effective in over 30% of all human cancers. So, fingers crossed. And now I'm a postdoctoral research fellow at Vanderbilt, and my research continues to be on signaling pathways, just as it was when I was a member of Dr. Miller's lab. We now focus on non-small cell lung cancer, and I hope that with the promising research angles we're pursuing now, I'll be able to share in the not too distant future some really interesting science with you that's hopefully going to lead to some more cures and therapeutics in the future. While my academic training and research experience have provided me with excellent background in cancer biology, and I'm sure I could talk your ear off for the next hour or so about it, I'd prefer to spend the next few minutes sharing a few well-deserved thank yous. I have to begin by thanking the amazing members of the Rhodes College faculty and administration, both former and current. You possess a myriad of talents and taught me a great deal. Your advice pointed me in the right direction, and you provided me with numerous opportunities, so thank you all so very much. I am especially indebted to Dr. Mary Miller. I cannot even begin to find the right words to truly thank you for everything you have done for me. You're the voice in my head. You pushed me to be the best I could be, and you showed me what is possible for hardworking women in science. You will always be my hero. Thank you. I also have to thank the Jasper, Georgia Scientific Consortium, which is better known as my mom and dad. I think it goes without saying that without you, I wouldn't be here. But it's so much more than that. Thank you for providing me the opportunity to go to Rhodes and for unwavering support throughout my life. One of my earliest memories is you telling me to shoot for the moon, and the only reason that I believe in myself is because you taught me to believe in me. You're my role models, and it's an honor to be your daughter. I love you. I have to conclude by thanking my 9 days to go husband-to-be, Neil Phillips. 9 days, single digits now. For those of you that don't know, I met Neil when I was a graduate student, and I honestly believe that if you find someone who can love you through graduate school, you've found someone who will love you forever. More than that, Neil is also a scientist, and he's planned countless experiments with me, brainstorms hundreds of hypotheses, and spent hours upon hours just talking science. You're an amazing teacher and my very best friend. I'm so very lucky to have you in my life, and you've changed it for the better. I love you with all my heart. Thank you for making wherever we are together our home, and I can't wait to be your wife. With that, I'd like to thank you all and say again how much I appreciate the opportunity to address you and share some, reflect on our alma mater and share some true appreciation. This is an amazing honor that I will treasure forever, and thank you all for being here today sharing this moment. Thank you.
Now, Desanya Timms, Vice President of the Black Student Association, will present the Black Student Association Distinguished Alumni Award. Born and raised in Memphis and a graduate of Central High School, Desanya is currently a junior majoring in psychology with a minor in music. She is a Serving Our Students mentor, the Student Associate for Advancement Services, a member of All Students Interested in Asia, and a member of Hispanic Organization of Language and Activities. Desanya.
Good morning. Established in 1998, the Black Student Association's Distinguished Alumni Award recognizes those African American alumni whose record of outstanding personal achievement and serves to others has inspired Rhodes students and brought honor to their alma mater. It is my honor to present this year's award to Mr. Steve Beckton. Mr. Beckton, would you please join me on stage? A product of Memphis Westwood High School, Steve attended and graduated from Rhodes in 1998. As a student, he majored in business administration, was a member of the Black Student Association, and a star running back for the Lynx football team. After graduation, Steve taught high school and served as head football coach at White Station High School, earning State Teacher of the Year for Economics. He also was the district executive of the Chickasaw Council of the Boy Scouts of America. Beckton earned a master's degree in educational leadership at the University of Memphis while working full-time at Facing History and Ourselves, where he currently serves as Senior Associate for Urban Education and Organizational Initiatives. Facing History and Ourselves is an international social justice organization that fights racism, anti-Semitism, and prejudice, and nurtures democracy through educational programs. Since joining the Facing History staff, Steve has worked with students, educators, and administrators on the issues of race, class, and cultural differences. His leadership in the education movement in Memphis has been invaluable to the city, as he is a respected resource and consultant on how to inspire and engage Memphis youth. His leadership in Memphis has been noticed elsewhere, as Steve has led discussions throughout the U.S. and internationally around the relationship between race, poverty, and education. In 2008, Steve was inducted into the Rhodes College Athletic Hall of Fame for his outstanding performance both on and off the football field. According to former teammate Mike Palazzolo, class of '86, I'm very proud to have been a teammate and classmate of Steve Beckton. Steve was known as a fierce competitor on the football field, helping lead the Lynx to national prominence and finishing his career as the all-time leading rusher in Rhodes history. Off the field, Steve was known as a compassionate and caring member of the Rhodes community, always there to assist a classmate or a teammate. I have maintained a friendship with Steve for 30 years since our college days, and know Steve to be a person you can count and depend on, and a person deeply invested in building community within the Rhodes region. When asked about Steve Beckton, fellow classmate and educator Dr. Russ Wigington had this to share about his post-college roommate. When we decided to live together after college, we first had to determine the ground rules of what we expected from each other. He came to me and said he figured out that it would be equal distribution of duties if I did all the cooking and cleaning. He would sacrifice by doing as much of the eating as he could. Needless to say, this is not what I had in mind. We made it work when we agreed he would do the grocery shopping. Echoing Mike Palazzolo, Dr. Wigginton went on to say, Steve is passionate about educational equality and helping people from all backgrounds and perspectives find common ground. He cherishes his relationships with people. For the many contributions he has made to his alma mater, and for the inspiration and leadership he provides in building bridges to a better community, I am honored, on the behalf of the Rhodes Black Student Association, to present Stephen Becton with the 2014 BSA Distinguished Alumni Award.
Thank you so very much. I was a little nervous when you started to quote my roommates, because you never know what your roommate would say. But Dr. Wigginton and I have an agreement that I won't tell if he don't tell, so it works out. So I'm so honored to be here, and I do want to salute this incredibly young, active class of 1964. Thank you for what you continue to do. It's your legacy and your work that allows people like myself to do the work that we do in the community. So thank you for your continued involvement, and what a great example for the rest of us. Dr. Trout, thank you for what Rhodes has become. I do a lot of work in the community, as you can tell, and I've never been more proud to be a Rhodes alum. Every event I go to, every community event I go to, there's a Rhodes student involved, there's a Rhodes faculty person or an administrator involved, and I know Dr. Wigginton helps with a lot of that work, and I'm just so proud to be a Rhodes alum because of what's happening in our community, so that's great. So to this wonderful audience, thank you all for being here for all of us. This is one of my favorite events of the Alumni Weekend. I'm just excited to be a part of it. The BSA, the Black Student Association, I thank you so much for your involvement and all the students that are involved in it. The Black Student Association is very important, and so your participation is very important to keep that organization alive. That organization has really become such an integral part of what it means to be on the Rhodes campus and a part of the Rhodes community. I never have looked at the Black Student Association as sort of this ad hoc, club of black people. It's very, very integrated in the Rhodes community, and it's so important to the Rhodes community. So thank you for keeping that alive and vibrant on this campus. Thank you so much. You know, at least I've been told when you reach middle age, I think I'm there, that you get quite reflective. So allow me just a minute of reflection. As I was thinking about receiving this award and being reflective about what it means to me, I thought about, when you're 25 and younger and you receive an award and an accomplishment, you think, I did that. I'm pretty smart, I'm pretty great, I'm pretty wonderful. When you're young, you think it's you that's doing it, which is in some cases true. But then when you get over 25, you move from I did that to we did that, right? And you start realizing that you could do nothing by yourself, and you need the help of a lot of people to accomplish anything. And then when you get over 40, you realize that you're not doing very much at all. It's everybody else that's making you look good. So I have to thank the people, now that I'm over 40, I have to thank the people that have really made me look good all these years and allowed me to be able to stand here. And those people, some of them are here. My incredible mother, who's here, and my incredible aunt, who is like my other mother, who's here, my T. And these women kept me straight until my wife came along, and now they sort of let her do it. And my wife is out of town, so she couldn't be here, but I have to thank them. And my daughter is here, who does a better job of keeping me straight than my wife does. In fact, she would not let me wear my loud red jacket this morning. I really wanted to wear it, and she snatched it out of my hand and said, no.
So at any rate, it's those people that are in my life that allow me, when you have that kind of support and foundation, it allows you to go out to the community and make a difference. I also want to thank, while I'm standing here, I do want to thank all of my family members, several of them who are here, but when you grow up in inner city in a single parent household, you know, and I don't say that in shame, I'm very proud of my upbringing and I feel like it was a great upbringing, but you don't have certain advantages, and it takes a whole family pulling together, a whole family rooting and pulling for each other. And then when they recognize that you might have a little talent, they keep you humble too, right? Those are the people that say, hey, don't get the big head. So I appreciate my family for that, and they're here, my brother and sister are here, and they've just been so supportive. And then the work I do at Facing History and Ourselves, I certainly wouldn't be standing here without being a part of such a great organization. I mean, you can have passion about things, but you have to find a mission to link yourself to, and it just seems like divine intervention that I found Facing History and Ourselves. It's never been a job. I've been there 13 years, and it's never been a job. I haven't gone to work not one day. Isn't it great to say that? I've just been out with an incredible organization of people that's trying to make the world better for somebody else. And my coworkers are here as well, and Michelle and Marty from our office, who I really appreciate them being here. So this is what it's all about. It's about, for me standing here, it's about all these other people. And God has just given me sort of this incredible opportunity that I'm trying not to mess up. So, and with that, I do thank God because all my strength and comes from Him. I can do nothing without Him, and I'm so aware of that. And so I'm so thankful that one of my church members is here. A great sister of mine is here to support me as well. So it takes all of that to be successful. And so I just would like to leave a quote with you from Charles Schurz, who said, from the equality of rights springs identity of our own highest interests. You cannot subvert your own neighbor's rights without striking a dangerous blow to your own. So in the spirit of the Rhodes community, I just want to ask everybody out there to continue to make a difference in the world for somebody other than yourself. And in spite of what's going on in the news, and in spite of all the horrible things and the cynicism out there, what you do to help someone else along does make an incredible difference. Thank you very much.
I now call on Dr. Trout to present the Distinguished Alumni of the Year Award.
The Distinguished Alumni Award recognizes a graduate who has brought honor to Rhodes College through extraordinary achievement. Today I'm honored to present the 2014 Distinguished Alumni Award to Mary Frances Files Sillich from the class of 1957. Would you please join me here at the podium? Mary Frances has blazed a trail for women in aviation and journalism for nearly 50 years. A trail that began in Parkdale, Arkansas, when she took her first flight at age 4 in an open cockpit crop duster over her family's farm. The trail led her to Southwestern at Memphis, where Mary Frances majored in English, and with the encouragement of her favorite professor, John Quincy Wolfe, discovered her love for the written word. As a student, Mary Frances was a member of the Kappa Delta sorority, served as managing editor of the Southwester, and was a campus correspondent for the Commercial Appeal. The trail then led her to New York City, where Mary Frances landed her first journalism job as assistant fiction editor of Mademoiselle magazine. She then joined the Saturday Evening Post as an editorial assistant, followed by a stint at McGraw-Hill as a copy editor. She really took flight in 1965 when she heard from a friend that Flying magazine, billed as the world's most widely read aviation magazine, would pay its journalists to learn to fly. Mary Frances found a copy of the magazine at a newsstand, highlighted several mistakes, sent the managing editor a note informing him of the grammatical errors, and advised him that he needed to hire her. He did. Mary Frances earned her pilot's license and developed a love for aviation and aviation journalism. During her tenure at Flying, the magazine went through 3 managing editors. Believing she could do a better job, Mary Frances inquired about the possibility of becoming editor herself. The publisher immediately clipped her wing by telling her she couldn't be managing editor because she was a girl. Undeterred, Mary Frances went on to become executive director of Air Progress magazine in 1969. In 1974, she joined the National Pilots Association in Washington, D.C. as editor of NPA News, also serving as director of communications and congressional liaison. Mary Frances became director of public relations for the Aircraft Owners and Pilots Association, and then served as associate editor of their magazine. She also served as executive director of the Seaplane Pilots Association and editor of Water Flying magazine. In 1982, her gifted writing earned Mary Frances 2 of Aviation Space Writers Association's National Award for Best Magazine Article. In 1987, Mary Frances flew through the glass ceiling in aviation journalism when she became the first woman ever named editor-in-chief of a major aviation magazine, Private Pilot. She went on to become editor-in-chief of Professional Pilot magazine in 1994 and a contributing editor and writer for Aviation International News and Convention News in 1996. She reached the pinnacle of her field in 2006 when she was the first woman to win the National Business Aviation Association's Platinum Wing Lifetime Achievement Award for Journalism Excellence, the association's top journalism award. But she wasn't just writing about flying. She was also blazing contrails in the sky. In the 1980s, she earned multi-engine ratings at Washington National Airport, instrument rating at Dulles International Airport, and seaplane rating at Long Island Sound. On March 22, 1985, Mary Frances set a world speed record of 180.44 miles per hour for light turbine amphibian planes. That's pretty fast. In 1993, she was named Pilot of the Year by the Orange County, California chapter of the 99s and Pilot of the Year for the Southwest section. With more than 5,000 hours of flight time in 250 types of aircraft. Mary Frances was inducted in the Arkansas Aviation Hall of Fame in 2010 and the Women's Aviation International Pioneer Hall of Fame in 2013. Mary Frances did not blaze these trails flying solo. Her co-pilot since 1969 has been her husband, Nicholas. Mary Frances flew the planes and Nicholas piloted the boat they lived on, docking and making friends from South Carolina to Canada. This dynamic duo is serious about politics and work together for candidates at the precinct level while living in Orange County, California, and now serve together on the New York State Democratic Committee. Mary Frances Files-Silich embodies our Rhodes vision. As a pioneer in aviation and aviation journalism, she soared to new heights and brought honor to Rhodes through her hard work, perseverance, and dedication to excellence. It is with great pleasure that I present the 2014 Distinguished Alumni Award to Mary Frances Files-Silich.
thank you. I'm just overwhelmed to be here. I never expected such a great honor, and I thank President Trout and the Alumni Association and the great faculty. And I must go all the way back to my dear grandmother, who always encouraged me to spread my wings, and my parents, who gave me the means to do so. And I must say, our family doctor, Dr. Burge, whose daughter went to Southwestern, whose son later went, and he encouraged my parents to send me to Southwestern. And as Dr. Trout said this morning, that was a great prescription. I also want to thank, as Dr. Trout said, my husband Nicholas, who not only put up with all my aerial adventures, but he joined right in and became an aviation expert in his own right. He wrote articles and books, and appreciate his support and leadership. And I also want to thank my dear friend Joanna Kendig McKnight, who came all the way from California for this. We were sorority sisters and best friends, and she was editor of the Southwester, and I was managing editor. And my dear friend Ellen Johnson Ferrari, whose parents were dear friends of mine in Arkansas, and whose father inspired me and his children to fly. At Southwestern, I must admit that my fate was sealed in Dr. John Quincy Wolfe's freshman English class. He asked us to write a paper that was vivid, and came time to get the results, and he stood at the window looking at, as he was wont to do, and we were all in great suspense. And he said, only one person did what I asked, Miss Files. Well, what could I do after that but become a writer? And I must say, in addition to my grandmother, who set no boundaries for me, at Southwestern there were no boundaries. Joanna and I ran the newspaper, and we were girls. Good heavens. I must admit, there was one bump in my career when I was at Southwestern. I wrote the column of school news for the Commercial Appeal, and my first big story was on homecoming, and it was supposed to be on the first page of the second section, but Elvis Presley got into a fight at a filling station and bumped me right off the first page of the second section. And another person I should thank is my good friend Pat Morgan, who nominated me for this award. She has dedicated her life to working with the homeless, and she just published a book on her experiences this year, which I helped her edit. And she couldn't be here this morning, I'm very sad. But I heard that last year's recipient of this award only made 1B when he was at Southwestern. And I said, oh dear, Pat, I can't come close to that. She said, yes, but I bet he doesn't have a world speed record. But I appreciate all the continued support from Southwestern. I was very sad to hear about the death of Dr. Daldwell. He actually took me to lunch in California one time when I was editor of Private Pilot, and he always showed a great interest in my career, and Dr. Trout has too, and all of the wonderful faculty. I don't know where I would ended up with all that, and I really appreciate everything everybody has done for me. Thank you so much.
Amazing. I'm always astounded by the stories that you hear every year. Congratulations to each of you. We're so pleased that members of your family and dear friends could also be here to help celebrate the recognition you richly deserve. We want to take photos of you and your group, so please return to the stage immediately following convocation. We ask classmates and family members to extend their congratulations to award recipients at the picnic, which will be held at the refectory immediately following this program. This year's picnic will feature a taste of Memphis with Corky's barbecue, Gus's fried chicken, and Fino's Italian sandwiches. Also, the academic departments will have designated tables to make it easier for you to find and visit with your favorite faculty members. If you have not yet purchased picnic tickets, you can do so inside the lobby of the refectory. Following the picnic is the student-led homecoming parade, which has been alluded to. You don't want to miss this. Also, there are still more events today that are open to all alumni. Please refer to your pocket homecoming schedule for specific receptions and events, or ask a member of the alumni relations staff if you need more information. Thank you all so much for being on campus today. Now, join me in singing our alma mater, after which our convocation is adjourned and we are dismissed. I will see you at the homecoming picnic and afterwards at the football game against Swanee. Enjoy your weekend.
Way to go, Rhodes!